US President Donald Trump has held a rally in South Carolina ahead of a critical Super Tuesday. The rally is one of many in the early weeks of primary season as the race to the White House ramps up. Speaking to a large crowd of supporters, Mr. Trump accused the Democratic Party of corruption and attempting to overthrow America's democracy.
Our country is stronger than ever before. We are stronger. We are better. But while we're building a great future, the radical left Democrats in Washington are trying to burn it all down. They have spent the last 3 years, and I can even go further than that, 3 years since the election, but we go before the election, working to erase your ballots and overthrow our democracy. But with your help, we have exposed the far left's corruption and defeated their sinister schemes. And let's see what happens in the coming months. Let's watch.
Meanwhile, presidential hopefuls are making their final pitch to voters as next week's lineup of primaries loom. Senator Bernie Sanders holds a substantial lead in two crucial states set to vote on Tuesday, with 35% support in California and 29% in Texas. Meanwhile, Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden is in hot water after being forced to take back his own statements. As Peter Ducey reports, Biden claimed he was arrested on a trip to South Africa to shore up votes in the African-American community.
We're going to win the Democratic nomination. We're going to beat Trump.
There's been a big change since December. Now more than half of Democratic primary voters say it's important their nominee change the political system, compared to just 42% who want to restore the system. And a Fox News poll finds the candidate leading with those who want change is Bernie Sanders.
That is getting the establishment very, very nervous. And when they see a turnout like this, they get even more nervous.
Joe Biden is trying to seal the deal in South Carolina and keep Bernie at bay.
Senator Sanders' Medicare for All push will be a long, expensive slog. Cost over $35 trillion, and the patient can't afford to wait.
Democrats in South Carolina are most familiar with Biden, and he's opening up, talking about his late son, Beau.
Every day I get up, I literally, and not a joke, Reverend, and I think you know this about my boy, that I ask myself, I hope he's proud of me.
A big part of the former VP's pitch is that he's the only one who has ever done anything in Congress. Amy Klobuchar disagrees.
And if you want to talk about getting things done, last Congress, I was the most effective Democrat in the U.S. Senate.
And she's trying to chip away at Sanders, too.
We need a candidate that's going to bring people with her instead of shutting them out.
If nobody locks up a majority of delegates by the convention, half of Democratic primary voters prefer flexibility picking the nominee, according to a new Fox News poll. Just 38% say it should go to whoever wins the most delegates.
A person who will be nominated will be the person who has a majority plus one. That may happen before they even get to the convention, but we'll see.
Michael Bloomberg's team believes they'll soon be the leading alternative to Sanders.
You look at the math, we see Mike Bloomberg is coming in with the second most delegates across Super Tuesday states and being in second place after that day.
The billionaire is brushing off a bruising pair of debates where he found himself in Senator Warren's crosshairs.
We need a leader who's ready to be commander-in-chief, not the college debater-in-chief.
But Bernie is ready for whatever happens next on stage.
I'll keep ducking and weaving. People throw things in my head.
Sanders is 78 years old, and a heart attack didn't stop him from becoming the frontrunner. But in a new Fox News poll tonight, 30% of Democratic primary voters don't think he's healthy enough for the presidency, by far the most of anybody in the field.